term. And I do come in with completely supporting regional planning. The goals, I think, are fabulous. I think they're realistic and they speak to the values of our residents. The concerns that started to bubble up in me came in the process as we went through each successive draft. Because it was such a steep learning curve when I first came across it. It was sort of read a bit like gobbledygook, but I got with the language and I got with the program. And the early drafts allowed us to see how changes would impact our respective communities. And I know that that's what we did. I imagine that that's what everyone else did, is they took a look to see how this would affect their municipality, to see what the implications were. And as time progressed, and with each successive draft, what I noticed was an increased focus on individual municipalities and less advocating for the regional plan. And I think that when you take a look at some of our recommendations, we think it actually shifts us back to thinking regionally, because that was the experience that I had as we started off thinking really regionally, and as each draft went through, things started to become more parochial. Now, more specifically, Metro Vancouver presented the RGS to Coquitlam Council on October 4th, which I found actually very helpful to have that presentation. And there was a mention of metrics and evaluation of the plan, and a question was raised about how that information about the metrics, as we measured the impact of the plan, how would that feed back into the plan? And we never really got an answer. It was sort of alluded to that there was a possibility that it could, but I think it's really important that if we're going to spend all this time, all this money, and all this energy to implement a plan, I think it's important that we measure it, but that we do something with those numbers. It's not good enough to just collect data. It has to inform you, and you have to be able to act on it. And for me, it's not really clear that there's a real clear intention, and I think one of our recommendations is how to do that, and it can be done very, very easily. I think we have a responsibility to be accountable to our residents, and using this data for a very specific purpose is about accountability. Now, the plan also makes a distinction between metro sphere and the local government sphere, sort of what Councillor Reid just is mentioning. But I certainly struggled, and our council certainly struggled, about what does that mean to be regionally significant. It became very challenging for us in terms of how do we decide on those land uses without some clear guidelines. And I think the plan is stronger and richer and a better document if we can find a way to create such a definition that would guide us in future councils as going forward. In terms, doesn't serve the region well, and I think we need to use the same language. It will allow for consistency, and I really like the language of the facilitators as we look towards. I think that this is about, we're working in the realm of possibility, not in the realm of contention or conflict. I think this is about creating possibilities for a stronger plan. This is not about weakening the plan, this is about strengthening it. And I'm pleased to see that we're finally at the table. Thank you.
Thank you very much.